A long time ago, a little bird dropped a precious grain of rice into the crevice of a large tree. The bird flew to the tree and demanded, "Give me back my grain." But the tree simply laughed and replied mockingly, "It's just one grain. Why should I return it?" Furious but unable to retrieve the grain on its own, the bird flew to a carpenter and pleaded with him to cut down the unjust tree. The carpenter was stunned and refused, saying, "Chop down an entire tree for a single grain? That's ridiculous." Refusing to give up, the bird flew to the king. It explained the whole story and begged the king to punish the carpenter for not helping. The king sighed and said, "You came all this way for something so small? I cannot punish a man over a single grain of rice." Every door seemed to close in the little bird's face, but it still wouldn't give up. Determined, the bird approached the elephant keeper with a strange request. "Tomorrow, when the king is riding the elephant, make sure he falls off." The elephant keeper was horrified. "How could I harm the king?" The bird once again told the whole story, from the greedy tree, the indifferent carpenter, to the unconcerned king, and begged for help. But the elephant keeper shook his head. "I won't do such a thing over something so trivial." Still undeterred, the bird went to a tiny ant. It whispered into the ant's ear, "Crawl into the elephant's trunk and drive him mad." The ant was confused and asked, "Why would I do that?" The bird patiently recounted the entire tale again, but the ant, too, refused, believing the issue wasn't worth the risk. At that moment, the bird dropped all pretense of kindness. "I can't harm the tree, the carpenter, the king, or the elephant," it said coldly. "But you, I can crush you with my beak right now." Terrified, the ant scurried off to the elephant. It crawled up the trunk and began to bite, sting, and irritate. The elephant, driven into a frenzy, roared and stormed off toward the elephant keeper. Alarmed, the keeper rushed to the king to report the chaos. Sensing something serious, the king summoned the carpenter and demanded to know what was happening. After hearing the full chain of events, all beginning from one small grain, the king finally ordered the tree to be cut down. But just as the carpenter lifted his axe, the once proud tree trembled in fear and cried out, "Wait! I'll return the grain. There's no need to cut me down." Thanks to its cleverness and determination, the little bird had set off a chain reaction, from an ant to the elephant to the keeper to the king, that ultimately led to justice. This tale of the little bird is not just a story about recovering a lost grain. It's a powerful lesson in persistence, intelligence, and the hidden strength that lies within each of us. At first glance, the bird seemed powerless against the mighty tree, the stubborn carpenter, the powerful king, and the enormous elephant. But instead of giving in, it chose patience, strategy, and resolve. The story reminds us that true strength doesn't always come from force. It comes from determination, clever thinking, and knowing how to connect with others. The bird didn't fight with might but with mind, building a path forward through resilience and influence. Most importantly, it teaches us that no matter how small or insignificant we may feel, we can still create impact and change outcomes if we never give up. Sometimes, even the tiniest actions, like an ant crawling into an elephant's trunk, can spark a series of powerful events. So never underestimate yourself. Believe in your ability to make a difference. If you stay strong, stay smart, and stay the course, you'll accomplish more than you ever imagined.